Good morning and welcome to SimWorld Today, Thursday edition. I am Marsh, joined back in the booth by Maestro. Good morning, Maestro. Welcome back in. How are you?
Absolutely. Great morning. Love that Christmas and Thanksgiving and New Year's turkey.
Hey, we got to get that turkey. We're going to dive right in. We got plenty to get to today, and it's going to start, if you listen closely, you can hear the scream still coming from Houston, the household of Rick Blaze, as Michael Penix Jr. has been named the head coach, the starting quarterback of the Atlanta Falcons, taking over for Kirk Cousins and a 7-7 Falcons squad. Maestro, right, wrong, overdue? Where are we at?
Right and overdue, long overdue. Falcons been in that spin that everybody's been looking at after starting 6-3. They went on a toilet dive, basically playing like trash juice. But the great thing for them is Penix fits the system that the Falcons wanted to do with the first-year offensive coordinator. A lot of play action, a lot of whatever. Now everything has to flip. He's left-handed, right? Rollouts are going to be more to the left. The receivers' route trees are going to switch and going to change in terms of how that works. Also, how the receivers actually catch the ball is going to have to change. The spin is different. So your primary dominant receiving catch leverage hand is going to be different from quarterback to quarterback. However, the good thing about Penix was always said he's able to throw off platform, and he has a beautiful spiral. I mean, he has a cannon for a left arm, and it's a beautiful spiral, unlike a lot of left-handed quarterbacks who kind of have that little sloppy spiral. So it's going to be interesting to see what's going to happen, Marsh.
This is a move that reeks of desperation, and I don't say that in a bad way. It was out of necessity because they have not been playing good football on the offensive side of the ball. And truthfully, this season, it's tough to look at this roster or this schedule and say, where's our good win? Their best win is Philadelphia week 2, when Philadelphia is not the Philadelphia that they've come to be, as of late. But they are just a half game back, and they own the tiebreaker over Tampa. And I think this is a team that's seeing that there is an opportunity to make a jump. They're going to have to make the jump right now with a pretty favorable schedule: New York, Washington, Carolina. They should be able to go, regardless of who your quarterback is, 2-1 down the stretch. So I think this is an opportunity for them to, one, make a playoff push with a schedule that fits a really good runway for Michael Penix Jr. to step in, but it's also a team that's looking ahead and saying, we actually have a lot of weapons. Kyle Pitts, who is supposed to be the best tight end in football history, is walking in and not doing anything. 4 for 28. We've got Drake London. We've got Bijan Robinson. This is an awesome offensive weapon group. They just have not had the general manager of it, the captain of it, to be efficient in Kirk Cousins. So I think it's desperate because they see there's a really good opportunity, but it also serves as a runway. I think look ahead. Forget about this season. Let's look to next season where you say, hey, we go 8-7, or we go 9-8, I guess, now in the new season. And we get a good Michael Penix season. We get some confidence underneath him. It's like a preseason to the preseason next season. I really like the future aspect of this one, even more so than the short term, which I think is really favorable for them in the NFC South. All right, let's keep it rolling, where we're going to talk some SWBA. And the big conversation surrounding the entire league is the pace of play, and in particular, the abundance of three-point shooting that has overrun the game. It is essentially a truth. If you don't hit your threes, you are not winning a basketball game, and that is the case that happened against Milwaukee for the Oklahoma City Thunder in the SWBA Cup Final. So, Maestro, we got too many threes?
Marsh, I'm going to surprise you with this because, I was born back before that there was actually color in the world. No, I'm going to say not too many threes because that's where the game has now evolved. It's evolved beyond the arc. Everybody says 3 points are better than 2 because they actually passed their kindergarten math test. So teams are built around the threes now. We've gone from everything from just the point guards and shooting guards shooting threes to now the person who plays the center shoots the threes. The guy who sells the hot dog shoots threes. The coaches even shoot threes. It's where the game is now. You know what? We just have to lay back and just let it happen and enjoy every moment of it because that's just what it's going to be. It's not going to go backwards, and that's not a bad thing. I think it opens up another element for a team that will be able to shoot threes and then have somebody to develop a traditional basketball game on top of it. It's just an extra weapon. So I'm going to surprise everybody that says Maestro's okay with it, unlike his twin brother Nystro, who doesn't like it at all.
Well, here's the thing. I was hoping you were going to say there is too many threes because I actually sort of agree with you.
Mm-hmm.
But not for the same reason. Cannot take credit for this information, but was listening to the Dunked On podcast outside of the SimWorld podcast network, and they made the case that the percent of shots that are jump shots today is actually less than it was in the 1980s
Mm-hmm.
when mid-range jumpers dominated. And so, really, all that's changed is that what used to be a 20-foot jumper is now a 24-foot jumper. It's not as if we've eliminated paint play because the percentage of shots coming in the paint has not really it's gone up. It has actually been, but it's not the same type of paint shots, right? We're not looking at post ups, right?
Right.
It's more of a driving kick. If it's spread out, you're a little bit better chance to drive. Here's where I think the 3-point revolution has stemmed. It just needs to move back. Okay, the 3-point shot is sort of like a home run. Okay, you should not be a baseball team should not have their 1 through 9 hitters just all capable and all wanting to just jack bombs, right? Your one hitter needs to get on base. Modern day does hit some home runs, but the second half of your lineup has ancillary roles to play. Every now and again, they might hit a home run. They're probably like, what, 15 to 23 home runs a season. But for the
Mm-hmm.
most part, it's get on base, keep the ball rolling around, right? And I think basketball has just made the 3-point shot too attainable, right? So now everybody on the roster is shooting threes, and the game does become predictable when it's this team can shoot threes, this team cannot, and this team actually shot more threes and made more threes today. It's not a matter of there being too many threes. It's that there's too many guys that just want to shoot threes. If you move the 3-point line back, and suddenly Steph Curry being the best 3-point shooter matters, right? Because if you sat here
Right.
and say the two best 3-point shooters in SWBA today are Steph Curry and Buddy Hield, like statistically speaking, number of threes being taken, those are your top two guys. The first one makes sense. The
Mm-hmm.
second one, it should be reserved for the greats. That is the point I'm trying to make here. I'm not saying that the Buddy Hields of the world wouldn't still exist. You'd still have your kind of your skill guys that hit them. But in my opinion, there's too many guys in that 35 to 38% shooting range, which is like okay, that are percolating so much throughout the league that there's too many threes being taken. I really think move it back 2 feet, and
Mm-hmm.
suddenly the guys that have made this craft so great get to shine in the same way that LeBron James is physically superior to everyone, Giannis is physically superior to everyone, and that advantage he's able to showcase.
Longer threes, longer rebounds, more transition points, more points in the paint, just like you called it earlier. Hey.
Yeah, I don't think it's a matter of us, having the wrong or too many. It's just too easy right now. That probably also means expanding the court, Maestro, and the
Uh-oh.
league has done this before. Corner three should not be a 22-foot shot. I mean, that's in my opinion on that. All right, let's head to college basketball where San Diego State takes a digger against Villanova and Justin Bell, a 72-71 win. Justin Bell led the way for Villanova with 22 and 5. Maestro, your thoughts? Number 14 San Diego State going down.
San Diego State did not play their brand of ball. I'm just going to get this out the way right now. How do you have 42 total rebounds against 29 total rebounds and still lose? That means you did not convert those offensive rebounds into points, and all it would have taken is how many? One. Math is hard. Trust me, I got you. So the idea for them is Villanova, who actually took down another ranked team earlier on in the week, was on the call with B-Ron for that. They played more efficient ball. They shot better with fewer shots. San Diego State took more shots, shot worse, but also those rebounds, not the points. That was the downfall. Yes, they played their game, but they played one element of their game, Marsh, that was missing, and they really needed it last night.
Yeah, that's wins now for Villanova against St. Mary's, who has kind of fluctuated in that late 20s, North Carolina, and now San Diego State. They moved to, what is that now, 6-3 on the season. My takeaway from this, and this is pretty much always my takeaway in 1-point games, I learned nothing. And I mean that by saying San Diego State, I am still bullish on. I think this has been a basketball team that's been playing exceptionally well. You did not get a great night from Dre Ryder, who has been kind of their bellwether alongside Darian Hunt. But to your point, they came up a single basket short. On the other side, Villanova, I think this is just a team that if we scale back, and you get to look at the season from a 10,000-foot view back at the end, or now towards the end of the season, let's say June you do this, I think you look at a Villanova-San Diego State game on December 18th and say, wow, those were actually two of the better teams in college basketball. Villanova they're going to be in the top 25 come Sunday. They're probably going to be somewhere around where San Diego State is. But 1-point wins and 1-point losses, to me, we blow these out of proportion because it's like, oh, you are not good anymore. You are not as good as this team because they made a single basket more. These two teams are as even as you can possibly get in a game that has to require a winner to walk out of it. We're not playing soccer where we can have a tie at the end of it. Somebody has to win basketball games. And 1 point, to me, Maestro, does not make me think suddenly that Villanova is head and shoulders above San Diego State.
Agreed 100 bazillion%. No doubt.
How about prospects for both sides? Do you think either of them are still, both title contenders? What do you think the ceiling is for both?
Yeah, absolutely. No, absolutely. Nova's been on a heater, man, and people have been doubting where San Diego State was. You can't doubt anymore. They have proven that they're able to play, and they've won. Now they played against a big dog on the rise, and guess what? They were right there. Like you said, 1 point is a coin flip, right? So the reality of it is both teams have the game, and I'm gonna put money on your statement that we're gonna look back at this game and say, you know what? Boom, we got Christmas early, yo.
The people that you're talking about that are doubting San Diego State also live in Houston, the ones that are celebrating the Michael Penix starting role.
They don't count.
Yeah, his track record not standing up. Move on. Let's roll the tape for SimWorld U wrap up. We had a very full day of action last night. So let's roll the tape and we'll start it off down in Richmond where Texas A&M put a stomp into the Spiders. 74-48. Tyrell Mark 22 points to lead Texas A&M. Chance Milton-Jones, the lone bright spot for Richmond, 16-9 in the loss. Definitely a doozy of one. Purdue and Miami getting back to their winning ways thanks to Jermaine McElmore, 28-9, 14-20 on the night. Dominic Bianco plays all 40 minutes, scores 14 points, 5 boards, 5 assists, but it was Pierre Dupont leading the way, a double-double from Ian Krimmer for Purdue. Nevada and St. John's. St. John's at home, protecting home court. They pull it off. Keyshawn Shipp, 17-5 in the win. Jared Quinney adds 16 for the Johnnies. On the other side, 12 points apiece from Arun Chisholm and Marcellus Blow. Not enough, though. Let's go to Sparty Town, where St. Mary's, we talked about it, gets the win. 70-61, big win. It's Brendan Romine, 18-9 to lead the way, adds 2 blocks for the Sparties. Caden Randolph led the way with 20. Let's head out to Colorado State, Jackson State, where Jackson State gets the win 66-56. Double-double, big one from D. Woodley, 20 and 14 for Jackson State. Jeziel Wright Johnson, 18-7 for the Rams at home in the loss. Georgetown keeps on rolling against New Mexico, 85-78 win. Jay Laster, 22 points on the night. Brandon Smith, 4 steals to go along with 17 points. For the Lobos, it was Taz Cooper getting 18. Tough night from Ireland early, just 10 points on the game. Shot it just 9 times as the Lobos continue to be inconsistent. Let's go Cal Memphis. Memphis, another win, 80-71. Lace Darius Outlaw, 26 7 assists and 11 boards from Deontay Joyce in the win. Memphis continues to be a dangerous team. Cal, Israel Vines leads it with 17. Oregon and Seton Hall, 90-70 win for Timothy Brown and co. 27-5 from Timothy Brown for Oregon. They have been on a roll, 7-4 since they started 0-4 on the season. Texas and Washington State. Texas demolishes with an 87-57 win. Arthur Lattimore, he's got Player of the Year potential in him. 23 points, 8 boards, 10 of 12 shooting from the freshman, plus 23 in a 30-point win. And let's close it out. UNLV Ole Miss, a 70-60 win for the Runnin' Rebels at home. Nat Hawkins, another big night, 27 points and 13 rebounds for them. We're headed to close out our last game of the season, or the night, which was Gonzaga beating Georgia Tech on the road, 80-75. Big nights from the Gonzaga offense. Damian Luffy with 17. JC and Nellis with 15. Big night. Gonzaga gets a statement win, ending an extensively long winning streak for Georgia Tech on the road. All right, that is our show for today. We've got a couple games coming to you on ESPN tonight at 8 o'clock, North Carolina and Houston. At 9:30, Notre Dame, USC, and our first day game of the weekday season. That comes to you on Friday at 1 o'clock. Maestro said Christmas comes early. It comes early on the 20th. LSU and Utah, SimWorld TV at 1 p.m. Maestro will be in Utah for that one. Big game for the Utes against the Tigers. All right, that's our show. We're coming back tomorrow, as always. Rick Blaze back in the seat. Maestro, always a pleasure having you in here on this Thursday morning. We appreciate you, and we will be appreciating all the viewers on Friday when you guys come back around here to SimWorld Today on SimWorld TV, the only place you can see the game, be the game.
Be the game.
This has been a presentation